there we go. That's weird. It decided I didn't... It decided I didn't get to speak. Or it changed my... Oh, I think... Yeah, so I got some RAM, I unplugged everything, and I guess it got rid of my microphone. So... Either way, hello, actually, this time. We're working on some modding stuff. This was originally going to be Umbara mapping, but there's still some prop work that needs to happen for that. I need to get one more thing in game, and I might get like just a basic layout planned out before starting the stream, so it's not just me sitting there doing nothing like this stream's going to be. But we are here now, kind of working on similar stuff to what we were last time, if you saw that one. But yeah, so the resources are coming along. I kind of think we're going to leave pilots out for this release just so it's not super overwhelming for people, but what we are going to do is have a section for ship crews here. And... well, I'll worry about that bit. So... we are doing a mix of resource stuff and Revolt stuff. So right now, Revolts, it just switches everything to Warlords. We are not going to keep it that way. But yeah. When will the Cerubi Imperium be in Thrawn's Revenge? When we have the assets done for it. So maybe some of that will be in like 3.1, but we're unlikely to have them in 3.0. But yeah, so this is going to be kind of like this, and we want the influence policy repository open. So I'm going to move this over here. Right now it just swaps the planets. I'm a little quiet. Maybe it reset everything. It might be at 50%. Let's see. Wise properties, yeah, it's at 51%. There. That should be better. And Kiwi. So I think what we want... Nope. This time we want Revolts. Alright. So, influence policy repository, how does it actually do this? Policy, string, lower planet, get name. So I think we do basically just want this. Yeah. Human player. And I guess we're already in the repository there. So, the revolts are called by that. Yeah, let's have influence over to this side. The Corellians won't be made playable for a long time. It won't be like specifically worked on for a while. So no specific plans have been made as to what the specific planets would be that get added. Letter, policy repository. loyalty policy repository, I guess. So have that. And then we need you. I'm doing this the incredibly lazy way. Plugins. Actually, that'd be in. Yeah, that'd be in the TR section. We don't need the mod content loader anymore, but clan burglar. Truly a saturated niche. Any news on World Devastator plans? No, not yet. Data, scripts, library. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to plugins, Revolt Manager. So that loyalty policy repository. And we're not even going to do it that way. We're going to do it this way. Oh, shit. Oh, that didn't even matter. Okay, when I'm coding, that can't be there. Osrin, that's not really directly supported by any sources. It's just mostly fan perception. So we have that now, and we're going to open it. And now I guess we need the planets. So well, we already got CTX, so CTX Galactic Conquest human player, which means we just need CTX Galactic Conquest planets. So we need it to give us the human player and the planets. You are supposed to be CTX. You're gonna see gameplay today? There's gonna be like testing some of the stuff I'm working on, but not like an actual playthrough kind of thing. We'll need one of these. Grand Admiral's my favorite. Well, Pelion and Thrawn. So I'm cool like that. Actually, do we need the planets? I don't know if we actually need the planets. I'm just gonna have them for now, and I can delete them later. And Hape's coming before Siruvi? Probably, but like, it really just depends on when certain assets get done and how difficult government mechanics are. Like, Hapes are definitely the priority over Siruvi, but it's not impossible that there'd be a world where something weird happens. But let's see. So self dot p. All right, and now we need the influence policy. I'm just going to copy that. Initialize it. And planetary loyalty policy equals loyalty policy repository, lower get planet name, or default. Where's that actually? Loyalty. Loyalty. So default is going to be P Warlords. Local. Keeps getting in more ships. Definitely, they will get more ships, but we don't know when. There's like 7 more that are already modeled, so it's gonna be there's gonna be a lot. Preferred owner equals on player Warlords. And that's going to be the default one. So it prefer the default, if there's no other planet set, then it's going to be find player Warlords. Return preferred owner. And if planet.getOwner equals Warlords, then preferred owner becomes, let's say, the New Republic. So basically what this is doing is when a revolt starts, it'll come in here, we have all these factions declared, etc. But when it actually happens, then it goes into this table. So it's looking for these guys. And for any planet, the default is going to be that its preferred owner is the Warlords. If it's controlled by the Warlords, which are just the independent forces, then It'll prefer the New Republic. So that's how that is going to work. And then let's have just down here Kuat. Preferred owner is the Empire. And if the Empire controls it, then it'll go to Warlords. And that's basically how that's going to work. So we go in here now. Cool. New owner. Local. New owner. So that is theoretically what that is going to do, but I probably did it wrong. Let's see. Guess Thrawn's Revenge will be at some point depending on the updated Thrawn's Revenge. So the way we're planning to do it, I'm just going to launch now that we're ready, but the way we're planning to do it is while we're testing 3.0 and 1.0 for Fall of the Republic and Thrawn's Revenge, then we'll start doing actual work on Revan's Revenge, which we've got some assets that we've been working on, specifically 3Col and Terrible have been doing a few of them. And Acertzel's working on something for it sometimes. But the active development won't happen until we've got the 2 mods already going and testing. Another Hapes-related question will be getting any ships that can compete with SSDs. Not on their own, no. The Hapen roster is actually going to be, like, the actual ship sizes are going to be quite small. But so we did Kuat there, so I'm going to start with the Empire. Son is busy with VOs. Yep, he is working on VOs. Okay. As you can see from last time, I've updated the unrest icons. They are totally legally distinct from the Empire of the Hand logo. Oh shit. Oh no, that's good. That's good. Is it good? No, it's not. I need to be the New Republic because they're not going to revolt for them. New Republic. There we go. They're on Kuat. So I didn't make the game crash, or I didn't make the scripts crash, which points to good things happening. Will we get a current submod preview by April 1st? Hopefully it'll release on April 1st.
Mission log updated.
We don't intend to speed up combat, no.
Tactical battle imminent.
Is this a mod? Yes, this is making a mod, or working on a mod. Alright, so we got the 3 unrest stacks there on Kuat, so it'll flip next week. Hopefully it'll flip to the Empire. If it does, that means what we've done worked. If it doesn't, then we need to do other stuff. Shit. Didn't work. It's not actually flipping them properly because it's going to the old owner. But it is piling up our ships elsewhere. Okay, let's see what's going on, what I've done wrong. So it's getting a faction, which is nice. Get name... new owner. So it's getting something from it, but it's not getting what I want from it. So it's not crashing. Let's just do it without the secondary. And see how we do. Is there any Age of Rebellion today? No, we're going to be taking a break from that until Ek is back from his paternity leave. Ek and I will be doing TapCaf tonight, talking about The Mandalorian. That'll be in 4 hours, actually. So, basically, we weren't sure if Ek would have his daughter born yet. So Shaq, rather than planning a whole session for tonight and then possibly not doing it, we just decided we'll wait. We'll be getting a scenario that will crash my computer. So there's like 400, 500 planets in the mod, technically. We wouldn't plan on doing that. There is a potential for a bigger one that I might even release as a sub-mod so I can make sure people read, like, you're doing this to yourself. How will resources and revolts actually work? So they are tied to influence and stability. Stability is not a thing that's in yet. But there's two kinds of resources. There's basically the spendable kind, which include credits and ship crews, and then there's the kind of passive kind, the abstract kind. So the abstract kind being the food and industrial supplies right now. Then it'll be stuff like Tabana and everything. But with those, you basically have them or you don't. You either have enough for your faction or you don't. Each planet costs some. Each planet may give some. So you can see Coruscant costs 10 food. Yukio gives 10 food. Farms give 10 food. Each planet will take one thing. But with those, if you're below the amount you need for your faction, you'll have an influence penalty. If you're above it, then you can have up to 1 bonus influence point from it. If you have really low influence so if you are at influence level 1 on weak turnover, then you will get an unrest stack, which are these little fists here. If you hit 3 unrest stacks, the planet will rebel. I technically wanted to be in the New Republic, but whatever. If you have 2 influence on a planet, then you have a 50%. Is it? Or then you have a 66% chance of getting an unrest stack. If you have 3 influence, you have a 33% chance of getting an unrest stack. Thank you, Jordan. Don't you find it ironic how officers complain about the Jedi, but forget that for 24 millennia the Republic called upon the Jedi Order to save their incompetent asses and lead the Republican military and government? I mean, a lot can change in a couple millennia. And just because you get help from someone doesn't mean you necessarily love that you have to do it. that. Jesse. Alright, we should be getting some flips here. Thank you, Jordan. Centerpoint station be added in the game. Yeah, Centerpoint will be in. There'll be a couple super weapon type things in with different effects now that we have stuff like Influence that can actually do it. Shit, is it doing the stupid Thrawn campaign lockup again in week 3? Don't like that. Well, not everything that I'm talking about will necessarily be in 3.0. It's just long-term plans as well. Alright. Weak turnover. Did I break it? I might have broken it. Nope. Alright, so it's not actually getting a faction for it. That's annoying. New owner equals... Can it just not be local? Or, you know what? I know that won't work, so I'm not going to go in just to confirm that. Because I know what we did there. It's already going to be a thing. So... I'm going to have this just declare right away as the Warlords just in case. Equals... Cut. There. Self-dot new owner equals self-dot new owner. Loyalty repository. Yeah. And where's the influence repository? I thought I wouldn't need it, but it's just better to have it. Here we go. And rather than doing that, like rather than doing find player, I'm gonna do it as a string. Technically, you wouldn't need to declare as where you could just put it as the actual name right in the return, but Just join the stream. Will there be Umbaran starships and stuff? Yep, eventually there will be Umbaran stuff for the CIS, or on Umbara at least. With some influence-related stuff for that, possibly. Those are more likely to be directly CIS related, but there will be more... yeah. There'll be more planet-specific stuff coming out. That's part of what, like, influence and everything is meant to do. Give us more opportunities to have unique planet elements. Okay, let's go. Can I not return? No, you can return pool, return value. Could you give us a teaser of when 3.0 may come out? Really, we can't. And it's not just trying to be like, haha, funny secret stuff. It's just, it's kind of impossible for us to know, other than we're probably not more than a couple of months out. Because, like, we have to know exactly what's needed to be done, how long that stuff would take to be done, and then how long we've actually got to work on it, which are all up in the air until it's actually done. But we're trying to make sure that we're winding down now on production and getting into testing as soon as possible. Will the Empire of the Hand be gaining access to executors, bellicers, or anything of the same sort of size? No, we don't plan to ever give the Empire of the Hand an SSD. Definitely not an Imperial SSD. I'm just going to put in a drink while we're waiting for this to turn over.
Mission log updated. Tactical battle imminent.
Yeah, the biggest Empire of the Hand ship is the Intigo at 2,200 meters, and that's as big as where we're going with them. There's a very small chance the Chiss themselves would be given a larger ship, but not the Empire of the Hand. And it's unlikely the Chiss would be given one. That's annoying. Can add the Ranger gunship. We don't plan to currently. It's not impossible. We'd make a design for it in the future. Because it technically has one from Kraken's Threat Dossier, but, like... Are you gonna actually... Okay, so it thinks it's flipping, it's just going to the same owner, which is annoying. It's probably not actually getting in here then. Yeah. Yeah, wrong ship. But yeah. Am I gonna have to go into the debug build? Oh, that's why. I'm stupid. Okay. Because it's still got to go in there. It's just getting the actual yeah. I think that's the problem. So we had it mostly right. I just fucked that up earlier. Thank you, Jordan, again for the $10 donation. You know this will have a huge impact on Republic or FR and soon Revan's Revenge, Javan's Coup and Javin Coup and Clone Wars and Honor on Revolt and Cold War era before Lex 4. Yeah, if oh, Fallen. Okay. I thought you were talking about something that would impact both us and Fallen Republic for Slayers, but Stellaris. But yeah, there's a lot that this kind of thing opens up, and that's kind of what we're hoping for, keeping the game a bit more fresh as you go. But yeah, thank you very much. My bad, misunderstanding there. So this should hopefully work. If we ever get more details and or art on Chiss ships in canon, would you use those for the mod or just keep the stuff you have designed? As long as we stay in Legends, we'd use our stuff. Like the information from Chaos Rising we're using, but there's that stupid fucking comic design for the Chiss ship that is literally just Marcross something, a fighter basically from another sci-fi thing flipped upside down and made blue. So we're entirely ignoring that. But when Timothy Zahn does stuff with the Chiss, for example, for the most part he's doing stuff as he would have intended to do it earlier. So like there's stuff from Chaos Rising that we're using, just like basic information stuff, or the fact that we're gonna call Chiss ships like it'll be Syndic class, Night Dragon, that kind of thing, maybe weapon types, a few characters. We're considering that fair game, but it's not Cartel going to be added in 3.0. The Hutts will, like, they still can, they already control some territory that'll be one of their ships in, but they won't be playable if that's what you mean. It'll be a while before we get to playability for that. Oh shit, I needed to be Kuat, so New Republic. Please try to keep spoilers for The Mandalorian out of the chat right now. A lot of people haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Sorry, Nathan, but just spoiling for people is no fun. Okay, so hopefully that works, and Pox won't have to watch this disappointed, knowing what I did wrong the entire time.
Mission log updated.
Is there a video on the redesign New Republic ships? What made you change it? The design of the Hajin, the ugly designer you guys want to redesign? Because the images in Kraken's threat dossier ignore the fact that they're explicitly stated to share a hull between certain ships. So like the Hajin and Sashin, they're supposed to be they're supposed to look similar, and they didn't with the Kraken Threat Dossier art. So with the Hajin and the Defender, we made them actually look like Ceratul made them look like the ships they're supposed to be sharing a hull design with. So Nathan, maybe you've seen it, but that doesn't mean everyone else has.
System lost.
Okay, it worked. There we go. Not sure if I actually lost all our planets there. I feel like... Oh no, they were all influence level 1, so never mind. We did lose them there. Alright. I am going to... Just for testing on this, I'm going to change the influence policy repository a little bit. Chandrilla. This should really be in alphabetical order. That's kind of annoying. But either way, I'm going to put in... Coruscant. And then Coruscant will be 10 influence as long as we have him on Mothma, which is good testing. Rahul, it's just basically lag in the flipping because it's doing so much at once. Will the revolts be like in the base game? If you mean like the corruption for like local militia revolts, then no. It's the planets flipping to a new owner. But yeah, because like every single one of my planets in the galaxy flipped there, Rahul, so it had a lot to process. Alright, and Coruscant will be 10 influence, so it's not going to flip. Everywhere else will, though.
Mission log updated. Tactical battle imminent.
And I guess the fleet builder, rather than being a plugin, should be a utility. So we'll do that. Because we need something that will build forces for these planets.
System lost.
Right, everyone go back to Coruscant. Alright. That all seems to work. Epic. Every unit. All at once. Of course, right now, there's nothing actually at the planets. Just the dummy structures. So, we're good. Which means I will push that Loyalty repository mark 1. First I'm going to fetch, just in case anyone else has done anything while I've been doing this. Can other factions try to start a revolt on a planet? If a revolt happens, does the planet always go to the independent forces, or can a different faction control them? You can't say, like, I want a revolt to happen there, but, like, the actions other factions take can impact stability and influence on the planet, which will impact a revolt. And there would probably be other, like, story events and stuff that can happen that would force specific revolts, but that's separate from the basic mechanic. And as far as flipping to different planets other than the independent forces, that's what we've been working on. That's what this is for, that we've just been doing. So there's the default owner, which is the warlords, and then every planet will have a default, and if it's owned by that default already, it'll flip to a secondary choice. So for the warlords, it's or for most planets, it's going to be defaulting to independent forces and then to New Republic if they're already controlled by the independent forces, which will probably never happen, but at least it's given the option just to handle any edge cases. And then right now we've got obviously Kuat, which is preferred owner of Empire. If it's already controlled by the Empire, then it's going to go independent. So let's say, for example, we got another one here. We're going to stay within the Ks. Kashyyyk. It's going to prefer the New Republic, but if it's already owned by the New Republic, then it'll go to the independent. So, and just while we're here, you know what? Let's copy this. And Mon Calamari, which the game spells incorrectly. So it's always annoying. I think it's actually just Calamari. I always have to check this because it's stupid. No, I think it is Mon Calamari. Hold on. It's so long since I've done anything with this stuff. Mon Calamari. So it's correct there. Default to the rebels. If it's controlled by the rebels, it'll go to warlords. And so on. But with all that being done, I mean not done, but that's all set up. Here, let's... And then Fall of the Republic is going to have its own set for that. So we want data, scripts, library... util... So these are basically a set of different functions that we use on the galactic level that can just... We pretty much pull them in wherever we need them, and then it does a certain set of things that would otherwise be annoying to have to code in every time. So there is... Revolts already use this, where it's... Right now we have, for example, change planet owner and replace. This is a function that'll just take the planet that you give it, it'll flip it to a new owner, and then put all the stuff that was already on the planet back there. Then there's change planet owner retreat, which does the same thing, only it takes the original units and sends them back home. Or to another planet owned by the original owner, leaving the planet blank. So what we basically need is another of these that's basically going to be spawning in a fleet based on an amount of combat power that we give it. So it's going to be the same kind of thing, just another set of tools for us to use in different places, and it's going to be epic. So I guess change owner utilities. I'm just going to copy it, paste it, and empty it. Populate planet utilities. I don't think we're going to need gain constants for this. I'm pretty sure you mentioned at some point Corellia will always have unrest at 1. Let's just be Corellia or its whole sector territory. It'll just be Corellia itself. Will the ground forces be a mix of cloner stuff? For whom? If you mean for the revolting stuff, then no. It'll be... the default we're going to make right now is going to be Imperial stuff. Planet utilities. And we're actually going to rip off Bob's from the ground up spawns for this. Hey, Ranger. Story. Did Bob do that? Oh, yeah, that'd be in here. Random GC spawn. That'd be in library. Here we go. So we're basically going to get a similar amount here. We're going to try to compress this into the same kind of idea, but a different set of stuff. Because we don't want spawn at all planets. This is what this does. Really, this is kind of just what we ought to take. I don't know if it's better to just adapt this. We kind of want to just take all of it. But the AI have to deal with revolts as well. Technically, yes, it is possible for AI planets to revolt, but they don't have to deal with resources and stuff. So it'll be a bit harder for them to, outside of specific story event related stuff primarily. Or if they really fuck something up. We need some more music. Okay. Why would the AI have resources? Because it's a lot more difficult for them to plan out their infrastructure in a way that makes sense with resources, especially if there's going to be a lot of reward for like selling and moving them around. And it becomes a lot more difficult to handle the same system for two players, for one thing. But then you also have to make the AI understand it. And fundamentally, we want the game to remain interesting and challenging. And there's nothing that really gets added to the game by the AI having to manage that. It's just more lag for a system that's very difficult for us to implement in a large scale. And the AI has enough problems in Empire War staying relevant, especially as you like push them down into less territory. They're going to have a much harder time managing that, and it just becomes a cakewalk at that point. So there's like 17 reasons not to make them have to deal with resources. Okay. So where is it actually using this? Because like the purpose of these mechanics is to give the player more reason to go for different planets, give them something more to do on the galactic level than just it's a battle like a battle menu. So adding like extra narrative to what you're doing, like a reason to go for Coruscant over another planet, a reason to wait for taking Coruscant, and adding it for the AI is very complicated without really creating any of the reasons that they're or without really supporting any of the reasons that we're actually introducing these mechanics. There are certain effects that will still happen to the AI that'll be simulated different ways, but not the same way that the player does it. So, let's try to think of how much we could actually take from this. Thank you, Nacho, for the $20 donation. Charlie's face is in Schwinn. If GOG adds mod support, would you update it there? GOG already has mod support, it's just the base game wasn't updated as much as the Steambird. You can still install mods to GOG, it's just you can't install more recent ones because it didn't get the same patches as Steam did. If it got the same patch that Steam did, like those are things that are made by the game company. They wouldn't make two different patches. It's either they deploy it or not, and they weren't able to deploy it for GOG and disc. Then it would just mean like you can just install the mod to that version. There's not really any other steps for us there. It's just whether the game supports it or not. And right now, it doesn't support the things that Steam was fixed to support. Unfortunately, like if we wanted to support GOG, we'd have to remove pretty much everything that I'm working on right now, or everything that I'm showing right now. But yeah. Because this is random, and we don't want random. Gets that, then it gets a difficulty, then it goes... Well, I think keeping the difficulty is a good idea. How's the weather here? That's a good question. I haven't been outside in quite some time. It says it's 5 degrees for what that's worth. I am just going to copy all this shit. Because modding is easier than rewriting. And we don't want to do this through every planet. So this is now... Spawn random, Imperial... No, we don't want to do... I don't think we want to set the faction. Yeah, I think we kind of do. You'll ballpark when 3.0 will release? No. So just for simplicity, I kind of talked about it earlier, but there's not really any utility in guessing at release dates for that. Order equals warlord. Well, no. No reason to change that yet. Planet equals... We already get planet. I don't think that's necessary either. You play Empire War without your other monitors going back? I've never really had any problems with that, but yeah, windowed mode definitely would help if you are having problems with that. Usually that's about resolution or refresh rate. So if you make sure that the resolution you're using is your native resolution for that monitor and the refresh rate matches, then you shouldn't have a problem, but... Will the random spawns have a limited pool, like no AT-ATs, for example? It depends on the... It'll depend on the planet and the combat power level. Because we'll be basically passing it a combat power amount. Cost difficulty... That... We will keep the difficulty modifiers on that. So, owner, we need that. get combat power. Citadel Dracula spawn in Castle 1B. I think they do currently. I'm not sure that, like, I don't think all of them do as characters, but there is some limited stuff representing the Central Committee, and that's going to be fleshed out a bit more because you'll be able to choose between ISAR or the Central Committee depending on certain events when we do the era reworks. We were going to do those for 3.0, but we decided it wasn't really worth it for the time frame. Yeah, I'm using Visual Studio Code. Local... Scaled combat power will be after. So we don't actually need to do that. We can get combat power. There we go. You watched The Mandalorian? Yep. I watched it last night. We're going to be doing a podcast about it in 3 hours, me and Ek, for DAPCAF. But yeah. No spoilers for those who haven't seen it yet. The table. Technically, this only needs to be one thing. I'm afraid I'll break it, so I'm just going to do this for now. Keep that. Get rid of all this. We no longer need the randomizer, but I'm going to get that working before I screw it up too much. Local combat power equals power original. This is Lua. Empire War, you can use Lua for certain things, and then like the actual objects are in XML. Is it at all possible to add damageable hardpoints to ground units? How viable an option would that be to try and balance the A6? Those are already a thing in base game, like the Gargantuan has it. We tried using it in a couple places, but the thing is, it doesn't work super well on ground. There's certain things that actually end up making those units more powerful, for having been done like that, and it's best to avoid it. We technically don't need this. Well, we'll do it anyways. Yeah, for this kind we don't actually need to send the owner object, because it's determining it itself. So that can all stay the same. What are your thoughts on Falk Alliance? Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily put planet count as a sign of how impressive something is. Because that's just putting stuff in a list. But it's not super well regarded, is all I'll say there. Is there just definitions? Are missiles still penetrating shields during ground battles intentional, or is there an issue changing? It's intentional. Generally on ground, it'd just be ray shields. It doesn't have quite the same gameplay issues as shield penetration does in space. It's pinging me. Here we go. Well, thanks, Nicholas. Where is util? Util. No, I don't want to do that. How's the World Dev Survey works going? Mr. Puerto Rican's working on the textures. They're almost done, but the actual functionality of the units is not really a priority right now. We're working on other stuff. So we're mostly working on broader galactic stuff right now, and then some of the World Devastator stuff will tie into that, but... but yeah. So that's what we want. Units, spawn table, we got there, planet, we got there. Hostile, we got there, because that's spawning. Okay, so that's getting passed in. No affiliation. Alright, so that should work, potentially. Yes. So then planet and combat power original. So we want to go into Revolts, Manager. There's a lot of cleanup to be done there, but I just want to... see if it'll actually do what we need it to. Then combat power original, let's go with 20,000. Give him a lot with that. EWX util. Populate planet utilities. Oh yeah, Jedi Master Chief, that's Visual Studio Code. And there we go. Hopefully, it won't crash. It probably will crash. All right, Empire. Yeah. No. Yes. Yes, because it's not the right faction right now. Because it only handles the Empire or Warlords. I'm gonna grab that drink now. Wrong way around. All right. So we got some revolts going on almost.
Mission log updated.
We'll see if it crashes immediately. I don't know why I keep going to the Thrawn campaign for this. It's gonna be laggy as shit because there's still whatever happens in the third week. Let's go for Shadowhand as the Empire. Yeah. I mean, maybe it's happening everywhere, so I don't know, but... Really, I should have just gone to, like, Stars Align or something super small, super simple.
Mission log updated.
Oh no, it's all gonna flip. This was dumb.
Building under construction.
I don't think any of my planets are going to be high enough influence to not flip. Yeah, I'm just going to lose. Okay, it crashed on the first one. So that tells us everything we need to do. I think Farseer is going back to work on Campaign Commander, still wanting to contribute to that. I don't think I have time. I've spoken to them about it, but I have too much shit to do. I can't really commit to another thing. I think we need to do this. Start the debug build. Ooh, it's actually getting kind of late. So I think we might actually just have to end the stream there. Will the Turbulent be added to TR? Eventually, yeah. When we get into more later content. But I think we might have to end the stream there because we are going to be doing the Top Cap Transmissions episode on The Mandalorian tonight. So I need to get ready for that. Also, make dinner and stuff. So, that's going to do it for now. Hope you guys are enjoying the mod, the streams, the everything. But we will have more modding streams next week, hopefully. Tonight, we might end up streaming something else after TapCap. I don't know. Fridays are weird like that. But other than that, hope to see you next time. Bye, everyone.